Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Cleveland and we are on Land of Fire. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, it's been a rough couple days in World of Warships for me. I don't know how many games I've lost, but I know there's been a lot of matches where I've been burnt to crisp. So I'll be honest, I'm getting kind of tired of it. So I think I'm just going to start spamming high explosive out of these things until Wargaming decides to fix it. They need to do something. The amount of HE spam going on right now is insane. To me, it takes away from the game, period. Like, you're putting in, there's so much of it going on that there's no way that good players can fucking do anything about it. And I apologize for my language, but that's just, you know, the frustration coming out. I can't help it. You put yourself up against an island to try to protect yourself. The rounds come in from the moon, for God's sakes. You can't even avoid it that way. Like, they literally have made this game useless for anything that is not mobile enough to dodge. And it's insane. It literally is the definition of insanity. So I think I'm going to lay off the battleships for a while. I'm going to come out and I'm going to play cruisers and fast movers and try to avoid getting shot because this is ridiculous. I'm tired of getting obliterated by people that are sitting behind islands spamming HE. So, if you can't beat them, join them, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to jump out here into Cleveland, and unfortunately for these guys on the enemy team, I don't just spam high explosive. And we're going to show them exactly the error of their ways. Now, Cleveland, not known for its maneuverability, first and foremost. Let's just get that out of there. The Cleveland is not mobile or maneuverable. But when you've got Atlantas and Belfasts and Wichitas firing at you, it's really not difficult to dodge most of the rounds, especially if you can keep your distance. So with our range build, we're going to just make sure that we're actively dodging, and then we're going to try to engage these guys. Now, we are going to initially get no help, and then we're going to get help in the form of a guy who YOLOs and dies, and then we're just going to take over the game. So, yeah, hopefully you guys are ready. Now, we go ahead and start launching our armor piercing to get some plunging fire onto the deck of this Wichita, just to kind of get his attention. You can see he's already been chunked a couple times, but we can definitely get some penetrations through his deck armor if we can get good hits. And you can see the Atlantas over there trying. There are two Atlantas over there. There's a Belfast, there's the Wichita, and an Odin, all on this side of the map. So we've got to make sure that we're on our toes. Because like I said, Cleveland's a big girl. She ain't known for being able to dodge. But when everything's coming in from the moon, even this thing can get out of the way as long as you know what you're doing. And as you can see, these guys are starting to be broadside on. We're going to go ahead and switch to high explosives, see if we can't set some fires on this Wichita. And then we're going to switch to armor piercing here in a minute, I think. But you can see pretty quickly the volume of fire that's in the air right now is exactly what I've been focused by so many times in the last couple days. It's insane. It's just insane. You've got Atlantas, Belfast, Wichita, Kutuzovs, Chapaevs, all of the fire starters on the planet are getting into matches and just absolutely melting everything in front of them. And this Tirpitz is about to find out the hard way. Because what does the Tirpitz need to do? Well, he needs to get close, right? Now, we're going to go ahead and burn our damage con for one fire, which you normally wouldn't do. But I'm fairly confident in our ability to keep ourselves from catching on fire again anytime soon. And the damage con isn't too horrible on these. So, you get your damage con back. And honestly, the damage con on this should be the best in the game, if you think about it. The frickin' ship was known for getting into a lot of trouble, get itself blown apart, and somehow managing to get itself back to port and survive. Not a single Cleveland was ever sunk in battle. You would think it would have the best damage control on the planet. We've got two fires on the Wichita, and then the Tirpitz finally decides to delete them. Now we're going to start on the Belfast. Belfast is going to turn away There's not a whole lot of like strategy to the HE. Like with armor piercing, you're trying to hit specific spots of the ships. With the HE, generally you're just trying to hit the ship, because no matter where you hit it, you can set fires. I can hit the broadside of your ship, and then I'll set a deck fire for some reason. Like it makes no sense, but it's how the game is, so you're used to it, right? So we get our first fire on the Odin here, and as you can see, he's about to get hit with the next set, and we've actually missed some. Not sure what happened there. Maybe my fault. But now you can see we're starting to stack up the hits on the superstructure. And we get another fire on him. Now he put out, or no, he's burning twice now. So I was thinking he put out the first fire, but apparently he didn't. And as you can see, we're shattering a lot of rounds, but we can still set fires. And as you can see, as we're starting to get closer and he's giving us a flat broadside, if we can keep him on fire, I'm going to go ahead and switch to armor piercing. Because then we're not going to be shattering off of the side of this thing all that much. And you can see he's starting to slow down a little bit, trying to change up what he's doing. We did ricochet 7 rounds off the nose there, which is unfortunate. But we got a much better salvo that time. He does hit us pretty good, but he didn't actually end up citadeling us, so we're fine. The Citadel on the Cleveland is supposed to be difficult to hit. It's submerged, so about the only way you get Citadel is through plunging fire. But I've had some wonky Citadels against the Cleveland, both in the Cleveland and on the opposite side of the Cleveland. It's just it's weird. Sometimes you think that you've got no chance to Citadel it, and you get 3 or 4 Citadels on it. But Belfast here is about to find out in a real hurry that he doesn't want to be there. He's a light cruiser, and we're about to show him how light he is, because we've bounced 4 rounds and we've got 6 penetrations. Now the Atlantas, you can see the amount of rounds that I'm taking from the Atlantas. Like they're very difficult to aim. You have to actually know what you're doing in an Atlanta, because otherwise you're just wasting your time, because it literally fires straight up into the air. And at least with the Cleveland, while they do have a really high arc, they're at least controllable and have decent velocity. The Atlanta does not, man. It is brutally like slow and high up into the air, so it's hard to get on target, especially at any sort of range. Atlanta, however, against the Cleveland, it's not even a fight. It's not even a fight. Look at that. First salvo, 1 Citadel, 6 penetrations, just absolutely taking him down. No chance. No chance in an Atlanta at any sort of range against the Cleveland. Period. And we're going to push ourselves back in. Now, initially I thought maybe I should cross in front of the island, but I actually wanted to come over this way on the right side of the island. And you'll see here's my indecision. I'm like, I should go to the left, go to the right. The reason I was thinking I should go to the left is to cut off that Belfast and save our destroyer. But at this point, it's probably a little late for that anyway. Destroyer's got no health left, so I'm just going to cut around this side of the island, see if we can't find the Atlanta, and we do. Hello, Atlanta. Hold these. Now, like I said, there's really nothing for me to worry about from the Atlanta. I've got enough armor that is high explosive. While it is nasty, it doesn't really shred me the way he would hope it would. And I'm not going to give him a flat broadside close range for his 127s to Citadel me. So he's just got a bad day coming. Now, as you can see, I'm firing armor piercing. I'm absolutely loving the fact that these guys think that they can get away with sailing in straight lines against the high explosive spamming ship that actually realizes it has very good armor piercing. And you can see we're missing a few rounds here, but this Atlanta being on the receiving end of these shots is not normal for it, so I think he's kind of put off. Now, he did have to dodge torpedoes there initially. The Belfast goes down thanks to our Wichita, but as you can see, he hits us pretty good here. This Algerie, unfortunately, I don't know what this guy's been doing this entire game. I really don't. I don't think he's gotten any damage whatsoever at this point. I know I've been shooting everything on this side of the map, but I don't think he's really done much of anything. Now that we've got the Atlanta on the run, we're going to push back. Now, unfortunately, our teammate over there in the Wichita, we're heavily outnumbered right now, and the Wichita is fighting everybody on the enemy team in close quarters combat, which is not not good. But as you can see, we're trying to get rid of this Atlanta. He's just running. He's prolonging it as long as he can. He's trying to dodge. He's a lot more maneuverable than I am, but from this range, it's not like my rounds are going to the moon. So it's difficult for him to dodge, and as you can see, it doesn't take very long to get all of his health away. But he does get a couple nice little hits here at the end, and now we're going into the base. There are 4 ships left. One of them is the Edinburgh. Edinburgh is already being smart and coming back. There are 2 battleships, I believe a Bismarck that has no health, and a King George who is full health, and then they have the Fletcher. Now, I make somewhat of a bonehead move here. The entire time that I've played during this game, I've done a pretty good job keeping my distance and avoiding rounds. And for whatever reason, I forget all about that when I get into the base. But the base is pretty large, meaning I could get away to the back of the base and, you know, at least limit who can engage me anyway. As you can see, we take a shot at the Fletcher, and then we're going to start taking rounds from the Edinburgh pretty soon. And while we need to capture this base, the problem is, with me being spotted right now by the Fletcher, because I fired at him, I've kind of left myself open to lose this match. And you can see I start turning the guns to get to the Edinburgh, and I was really thinking that this battleship was going to be the Bismarck, but unfortunately it's not. It's King George who's full health, and that's not good. Now luckily the King George is firing high explosive at me, so that's preferable. But unluckily he's firing high explosive at me, meaning he can set me on fire, and he has a very good chance to do so. Now we switched to armor piercing, trying to get some penetrations, but he has angled quite a bit, so it's difficult for us with these 152s to pin him at this angle. Then the Bismarck decides to show his face, so we need to make sure that disappears in a hurry, because us broadside to him is not a good place to be. And apparently this is the only Bismarck that isn't a secondary build, because his secondaries are not firing, and we're only 8.5 kilometers from him. But as you can see, he's no match for us. He's such an easy target when he's broadside. He does get a couple decent hits, but this Fletcher is actually the one that's going to be the death of me here. He's setting fire after fire on me. I just used my damage con, and they knocked out one of my guns, and now we're on fire 3 times. It's just not a good day. So at the end of the day, yes, fire spammers can get fire spammed, but you can see it's not working out for me. We did everything we could on this team, almost got a Kraken. We got 4 kills. Can't make everybody on my team to do anything. It's, you know, moral of the story. Should have probably gone to the back of the base there. Limited who could shoot me, and I'd have probably done a little bit better. Algery, I don't even know at this point. Like I said, I don't think he's done anything for the entire match. He's obviously shooting AP into the King George, which I know I was as well, but I had a better angle than he did. And honestly, the French have really good HE too. So I know they have good AP, but they also have good HE. And you can see he's not doing any damage with his AP at all. Like, there was not even a tick of damage against the King George. And then suddenly the King George decides he wants to fire AP for some reason. If he'd have done that earlier, he'd have wiped me off the map before I even got to kill his Bismarck, probably. But, you know, when the enemy's making a mistake, it's pretty rude to interrupt him. So if he wants to fire HE at me, more power to him. Unfortunately for our guy in the Algery here, he's not long for this world. Between the Edinburgh, who's shooting him in the butt, and the King George, who has finally decided to switch to AP, it's just a matter of time. French cruisers are known for getting citadel through the deck armor, and the further he gets away, the more likely that is to happen. Cue the moment right about... Wait for it. Now. One shell through the deck finishes him off. It's just the way it goes, man. 97,000 damage, 4 kills, top of the leaderboard. 1,500 base XP. Only 4 people in their team passed me in XP. So I feel like I contributed. I don't know what the rest of the team was doing. But, you know, you can't pick your teammates. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.